This is JumpSeductionUnleashed.com, and today's topic is the 3 secrets to help you read these crazy bitches' minds so you don't end up in the crib wondering to yourself, what the fuck just happened? So without wasting any time, number 1, the eyes, Chico. It's all in the eyes, man. Think about this for a second. Matter of fact, you don't even need to think about it for a second. The eyes say everything. Really, I don't know, you don't really know what it is, but when you see someone's eyes, like, it's the first thing to react. Like, someone could be acting totally cool, something crazy pops into the room, you look at their eyes, you're gonna see their eyes react instantly. Like, they can't hide this shit. For example, I live in New York City, and because of this, I've had, you just naturally pass by tons of couples and tons of like social interactions and all that type of shit. And oftentimes you'll see couples on dates, and you know, there'll be some dude rambling a bunch of shit, and you can just look at a chick and you can tell that she's not listening to any of that shit. And it also happens vice versa, but a lot of times you can tell when you look in her eyes, because her eyes, when chicks act nice but they're really not interested, or they just don't give a fuck, what happens is their eyes will slightly lower a bit. Like right now I'm a little bit sleepy. They'll just lower that little bit. Like they'll be like, hey, oh my god, how are you? It's like, I can't explain this shit. You could just look and you could tell like that genuine, like open, interested look, and that kind of like, oh, okay. Hey, yeah, it's side hug type bullshit. Matter of fact, the times where I noticed it the most, like early on, when like years ago when I was younger, the first real thing that I noticed it the most was I would see girls in school a lot giving dudes that they obviously were not attracted to, or just friend zone beta ass dudes. They would give them hugs, and you could just see, like, from the side hug, you could just see their face kind of like almost just slightly, like just that slight turn, their eyelids kind of drop slightly, like they don't really want to be there right now. So if you can't read that shit is the first thing you need to be able to read. A chick being discomfortable or not. And sometimes it's gonna be difficult early on if you just start, because the bitch just might be nervous and shy and goofy, just an awkward ass bitch, and you might not even know. But it's important that you quickly be able to read when a chick is kind of pulling away, so you can pull away and proceed with the push-pull, the duality, and the crazy shit of just push-pull that you have to do to attract these crazy bitches. By the way, bro, if it's your first time here and you're interested in dating, relationship, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by hitting that subscribe and bell notification button so you can join that Unleashed notification gang, bro, so you don't miss anything. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Numero 2, body language. Flat out. Again, this just ties in with the eyes. I feel like after a long while, when you can read girls, when you've been around them long enough, you really just need to look at their eyes, and that shit will tell you everything. But early on, you also need to pay attention to their body language, because that'll also tell a big story. If she's there with her arms crossed, or she's turning away, chicks do that shit all the time because they don't want to reject the dude, because a lot of dudes spaz the fuck out. That's the truth. Like, trust me, as much as I talk about crazy, insane bitches, the truth of the matter is, every single pretty girl I dated, pretty much every single girl has had a story where, like, if she's in a popular city, she's had a story where some guys hit her on the street, and she says no, and the dude is just like, well, whatever, bitch, you ugly anyways, you not even bad anyways, fuck out of here. Or some horrible incident just like that. And when you've heard that shit happen time and time again, and even when you're 14, 15, 16, and you got girls calling you, talking about some dudes following them, or just all that type of shit, and this shit is legitimate. You gotta admit, a lot of motherfuckers are fucking just, oh man, it's terrible. You know how many stories I have of dudes beating off on the train, like chicks? I see them, like my mom, my sister, yo, it's crazy, man. On the other end of this, on the more positive end of this, I think pretty much every dude, or maybe not every dude, obviously, but I would say most dudes have had a situation where a chick was into them and they did not know until like years later, and then they found out, and then maybe the bitch moved, or maybe now she's like 800 pounds, just some terrible shit where you're like, fuck, I had that chance and it just slipped through my hands. Shit, I remember in high school, when I was like a freshman, sophomore, this like older junior chick who she just had a very womanly body at the time, and she liked me, and I had no fucking clue. I thought because I still was like a freshman, sophomore, it it was still out of my, my mind wasn't there that this junior chick was into me. There wasn't that many signs, but yet, in a way, when I look back at it, it kind of were signs. There were little moments where we were alone where I was just like thinking homeboy status. Not really, because when I was in school, I wasn't trying to get chicks. I would try to get chicks on the school, above our school, below our school, and the schools around our school. But I didn't really like, I just don't like fucking bitches where I eat. That's the truth. I like at work, I don't like dealing with that shit. That's a whole nother topic entirely, but it's just seeing the same bitch every day. If you fuck her, that's like a relationship, man. And now you're mixing work with pleasure. That's dangerous, man. I'm just saying. So it's important to also know when bitches are fucking into you, man. When they're looking at you, they're primping themselves up. They're kind of touching themselves. Their eyes spark up a bit. You know, their body language opens up. They're not crossing their arms or turning away. Little things like that. It's so fucking subtle, and they're so passive and never say shit and never just give you a hint. They just expect you to read shit like you're a wizard or some shit. It's annoying as shit. But over time, you start to see it after a while. You really do. 3, this is more of a wild card. This is if you're in a situation where you just need to know something and you need a girl to just shut the fuck up and tell you what you need to know. Maybe she's a chick you've been seeing for a while, whatever the case is. Here's the thing. What I notice is in arguments, girls will try to use emotions to manipulate. Obviously, we all fucking know that shit. But what I mean is the actual, just emoting itself. When you see someone emote a certain emotion, it throws you off as to what the actual truth is. If you force someone to be calm while they speak to you, it's a lot harder for bitches to lie to you. Girls are very emotional, and when they're put on the spot, they find it very hard to just not emote. They just can't do it, especially when they feel uncomfortable. So what they do is they'll make a big scene. Like some bitch gets caught cheating and she'll just be like, what? I didn't fucking, she just starts making a huge fucking scene. It's just a big cover. So when you force chicks to just calmly speak to you, or you're talking to them and you let them know you're calmly going to speak to them and they're calmly going to speak to you, and anytime their emotion starts to rise, you say, no, we're going to talk calmly. What you'll notice is that's when you could really more so read chicks. Because when you force chicks to be calm, if they have something to hide, or if some shit's happening, or there's some funny shit going on, their face is just gonna give it away. They're not gonna be able to keep a straight face. They're gonna do this. They're gonna look away while they talk. Their lip is gonna start to do this. It's just gonna start to tighten. All this type of little micro movements in their face is gonna happen. Instantly, you're just gonna know you clearly feel uncomfortable. Clearly, because if you were telling the truth, you would just look deadpan like, okay, what the fuck you got to say? I have nothing to fucking hide. That right there is how you get the truth out of a corny, cheating, lying, slime ball ass bitch. You sit it down and you make her speak calmly. You don't let because once the argument freaks out, that's like an easy way out. You make her speak to you calmly, and just no. Even if she starts to get you just shut her. Just make her speak calmly. I'm telling you, you're gonna see all the tells you need to see. I promise you, this is like one of the greatest techniques I ever discovered. Seriously, take this shit to the grave. So if you enjoyed that kick-ass video and you want to see more on dating, relationships, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by hitting that button right there. Hit that bitch right there so you can join that Unleash notification gang, bro. So with that being said, gentlemen, unleash your best, and remember, till next time, confidence is bred by competence. Peace.